2 gladiators, 1 goal, be the last one standing.
Stupid idiot. Crazy now.
This is Hamilton and Verstappen fighting for 27 minutes straight. It all began back in 2018 when Verstappen was that wild card kid who terrified the whole grid. A kid so fearless he even thought team orders meant order your teammate out of the way.
Danny and Sunday have crashed! They've gone into each other!
Anyway, heading into the second race of the season, this wasn't going to be just another desert showdown.
It's lights out and away we go. Vettel gets away very well.
It was the first time the Red Bull driver said, "I'm not here to play. I'm here to fight for that throne, sir." That day meant the first real encounter on track between these two. Just after the race started on lap 2, Max sent it in on Hamilton so hard, he forgot mirrors even existed.
And they make contact.
He tapped Lewis, sliced his own tyre,
I think I lost drive, mate.
and ended up retiring the car.
And that is Max Verstappen out of this race by the looks of it as well.
To put it simply, he bottled it. And Hamilton, he roasted the lion after the race, calling him a dickhead in the cool-down room. What a ridiculous mistake. However, 3 years later, things would end differently.
He has now in Formula 1, and by nearly 4/10 of a second, Max Verstappen has sent the Red Bull garage into raptures.
Max was looking cracked in quali, putting the RB16B on pole by almost 4/10. Race day, the Flying Dutchman started cooking from the first lap. Still, he was fighting against a 7-time world champ, so this was no easy task.
Pick a firm, Max. Box and pick a firm.
Verstappen still wants to win the Bahrain Grand Prix. Steady into the box, slow on the right. That's not perfect for Red Bull Racing.
Max Verstappen is not going to like this, I'm sure, as he sees Lewis Hamilton now disappearing through turn 1.
Towards the end, as Lewis led, dude was defending like it was a final boss fight. By lap 53, Verstappen goes full villain arc. He goes full send outside turn 4, sticks it.
When they get to the corner, he's about a third of a car in front. By the time they get out of the corner, he's a whole car in front. Max Verstappen is ahead of Lewis Hamilton.
But too wide.
So we'll take on the outside. The track.
However, he probably thought the FIA wouldn't mind. After all, Hamilton went off 29 times like nothing happened. But the rules didn't apply for blue cars at the time, so he had to give the spot back.
Hang on, what's going on? No, he's giving it back to him. He's giving it back because he took the position off the racetrack.
He won by almost half a second.
Sir Lewis Hamilton, as he is now, crosses the line and wins the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Awesome fight. I just knew it. This is going to be the most toxic season ever. And boy, how right I was. It was the moment we all realised these two were going to go at it all year. And I'm going to be here every second, waiting for you to subscribe, or for them to crash, whichever comes first. Circuito Enzo Edino Ferrari. Rain, drama, magnesium. This time, Max was ready to do anything to take the win back home. Even launching out Lewis and sending him straight to hell if needed.
Chicane. Hamilton is forced wide and he's lost a little bit of bodywork as well. Sergio Perez.
Oh, I didn't mean literally. My guy didn't even move an inch. He forced the Brit over the curb so hard, Lewis probably saw the entire Italian countryside before rejoining. I mean, he had no left to give. He pulled away and started putting on a masterclass. Meanwhile, the 44 car had to grind behind. By lap 31, things got hella crazy. Hamilton was lapping Russell when he misjudged the wet line.
Sliding off the road goes the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton.
Oh, he tried to reverse out like some Indian legend. That could have been it, but nah. Right after, scenes went down behind as Russell and Bottas decided to cosplay bumper cars on the main straight.
We're going to get a safety car now because that's Valtteri Bottas and George Russell who are out of this race.
Massive shunt, red flag. A miracle for the Mercedes driver. That restart gave him a second chance, and he went full cracked mode.
Stroll's going to make this hard. Hamilton hangs on in there. He's managed to clear Lance Stroll and he's managed to clear Daniel Ricciardo. Head goes Hamilton a lot closer, and once again Norris makes him go the long way round, but Hamilton was close enough.
After that, he clawed his way back from P9 to P2 in 25 laps, overtaking everyone like he just unlocked God mode. And in Imola, which is basically Monaco 2.0, it was so wild, it felt scripted. Meanwhile, Max, he was in another universe, vibing at the front, making a 22-second gap and receiving the checkered flag.
In all 3 races in Italy last year, and who wins the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix the this afternoon.
That day, Lewis realised this wasn't just some fast kid. There really was a base for saying, hey, this is gonna be a street fight. And talking about streets, let's face it, Monte Carlo Sundays usually make you yawn.
But I have to admit, there are some exceptions.
1984, 1996, 2022, and of course, 2019. That year, Verstappen turned it into a thriller by the final laps. From the moment the lights went out, Hamilton was in P1, flexing that pole energy, just in front of the other Silver Arrow. Until, on lap 11, thanks to an ultra-aggressive Red Bull release after the pit stop, Max came out in front of Bottas.
Bottas is away, and that must be an unsafe release, because Max Verstappen has come out at the same time. They very nearly touched as well.
So Lewis was still leading, but right behind, a hungry lion, breathing down his neck like he just stole his lunch money. Lap after lap, Max was grinding. So, on lap 76, with just 2 laps to go, he actually went for it.
Verstappen down the inside on Lewis Hamilton, they make contact.
Rage dive, you would think. Not at all. Max knew exactly what he was doing. The guy had a 5-second penalty for an unsafe release in the pits.
Yeah, so we've just been given a 5-second time penalty for the incident in the pit lane.
So he needed to build a gap or just go all in on the move. The tension was insane. Hamilton was sweating. Verstappen was high-key stretching on every exit. You could see the Red Bull machinery dancing all over the place. Tires screaming like they saw a ghost. Or like when Lando touches a fish. But when they finally crossed the line, Lewis won by just 0.6 seconds in front of Max.
Hamilton wins the Monaco Grand Prix.
Get in there, Lewis.
Who after the penalty dropped to 4th. It's fair to say that Monaco 2019 showed the whole grid just how annoying it is to have a driver like Max behind you. God forbid these two actually end up crashing one day. The 18th of July 2021. Hard to forget, right? That British GP. Lewis arrived at Silverstone like a gladiator returning to his Colosseum. Already the king of his circuit with 7 wins and a sea of home fans ready to scream his name so loud it might set off car alarms in London. On the other hand, we had Max Verstappen, the fearless young lion. He wasn't just leading, he had a comfortable 32-point cushion with the energy of a man convinced this was his year.
We're 44 points ahead in the constructors and 33 ahead in the drivers. For Mercedes, this race is critical.
This weekend, we also had the first ever F1 sprint. Max launched like he had NOS strapped under that Red Bull, defended his lead into turn 1 like his entire crypto wallet depended on it, and grabbed 3 spicy points.
Verstappen's going to be on pole. He sprints home to take the sprint on this Saturday.
And Sunday, it felt less like a race, and more like 2 modern-day gladiators fighting for ultimate supremacy.
Out and away we go. Once again, Max Verstappen gets a decent start.
These guys danced a savage, high-speed ballet, banging wheels and pushing each other to the absolute edge. Every heartbeat in the grandstand echoed their fight. Until turn 9, cops. And then, silence.
Verstappen is out of the race and that's a big crash into cops.
Max, you okay?
In an instant, Max was in the barriers with a brutal 51G impact. Silence swallowed Silverstone. Max climbed out, alive but clearly shaken and trying to steady himself after that monster hit. He was taken to the hospital for precautionary checks. Lewis, slapped with a 10-second penalty, was fueled by pure hunger and decided to hunt Leclerc like a shark chasing Ferrari blood in open water.
It's hammer time.
Remember what happened at Copse on lap 1? Here goes Hamilton on lap 50. Oh, and he tries to get past Leclerc and goes off the track. Has Hamilton gone through? Yes, he has.
Claimed his 8th Silverstone win and celebrated like he'd won the title.
He wins the British Grand Prix for an 8th time here at Silverstone, and Hamilton is back in the championship hunt.
However, Max didn't bite his tongue. He made it clear that he thought this celebration was beyond disrespectful after the carbon confetti fest. Once rivals, always rivals. Some thought they'd chill with time, but Hungary 2024 proved they couldn't help it. They were born to battle, but you don't have to. Udo fights your battles for you. The all-in-one management software that lets you literally do everything you need to run your business or work in the simplest, most organized way possible. They have apps from invoicing, accounting, project management, and CRM to website creation and much more. And it's not just me saying this. From startups to big enterprises, over 50 million users trust Odoo to power their businesses. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but with so many apps, where do I even start? Well, Odoo makes it easy for you and offers the app of your choice, completely free, forever. Yeah, forever. And trust me, with just one app, you can do more than stroll in that Aston. One of my personal favorites is the website app. With it, creating your own website is faster and easier than ever. First, the configurator walks you through just 4 simple steps. Define the type of site you want, your industry, and your goals. Pick a color palette or upload your logo. Add the pages and features you need. And finally, choose a theme from a wide range of options. That's it. In just a few minutes, the entire structure of your site is ready to go. All you need to do is make it yours. And customizing it, the website builder is so easy, even Mazepin wouldn't screw it up. Just drag and drop the blocks you want, exactly where you want them. You can choose from ready-made templates for each section, tweak every detail, text, colors, images, layouts, and even bring your site to life with animations on text, images, and buttons. So whether you're starting from scratch or upgrading your online presence, Odoo makes building and managing your business easier than ever. Odoo gives you unlimited hosting and ongoing support for free, plus a free custom domain for your first year. Check out the link in the description to get started. Coming back to Hungary, Max started P3 behind the McLarens, but after a few pit stops, he found himself playing catch-up right behind Charles and Lewis. As the laps ticked down, the Dutch Lion switched on full Predator mode. He closed the gap, showing that even when the strategy calls go south, Max can still transform a mess into a masterpiece. As the laps ticked down and the finish line crept closer, we hit lap 63. Max finally reeled in Hamilton and launched a savage send-it move into turn 1. No hesitation, all instinct. Lewis, he wasn't backing down an inch. No way. That contact sent Max off track, cost him valuable grip and position. He rejoined behind Leclerc, dropping from P4 to P5. Lewis lost all momentum, but somehow managed to hang on, eventually locking in P3.
It's Lewis Hamilton for third and a 200th career podium.
The aftermath? Nothing. No penalties. And the radio was just as expected.
Yeah, moved under braking.
I'm not even going to get into a radio fight with the other teams, Max. It's childish on the radio. Childish.
And let's not forget, this was just for P3, not even a win. Lewis even made it to his 200th podium, flexing like an unbothered king. This race felt like a throwback mixtape of all the chaos and intensity we thought we'd left in 2021. Right before Italy, the tension was boiling. Verstappen led by 5 points. Hamilton was clawing back, and you could feel the tension through the TV like two dudes about to fight in a club car park. Race day rolls around, and Danny Rick just takes off like he's on a mission.
And Verstappen does get away well. Alongside him is Daniel Ricciardo, and Ricciardo is inching into the lead. Daniel Ricciardo will have the inside line here ahead of Max Verstappen. Hamilton has gone away well.
Meanwhile, a bit of wheel-to-wheel drama with Max pushed Lewis wide.
And Hamilton and Verstappen go into the second chicane, and Hamilton goes off onto the rumble strips and is forced wide, and he might lose a place here to Lando Norris.
And Norris wasted no time grabbing the spot, but then pit stops. Red Bull fumbled with an 11.1 second disaster.
Down at Red Bull, the kings of the sub-2 second pit stop. They'll be lucky if that's sub-10 seconds. No, 11 seconds on the grid for Max Verstappen.
That's like doing the Macarena twice before changing tyres. Mercedes thought they had it sorted, but still dropped a low mid 4.2 second stop.
Hamilton now does come into the pits, and that's is a little bit slow as well, but not half as slow as it was for Max Verstappen.
Surely it can't get any worse than this, right? Surprise! As Lewis comes flying out of the pits, spots the Dutchman right there alongside him. They storm into turn 1 side by side with no one thinking about lifting, and boom!
Will Hamilton and Verstappen, and this time Verstappen and Hamilton have crashed out, and they are both out!
That's what you get when you don't leave the space.
Max's rear tyre literally tapped Lewis's helmet. Huge shout out to the Halo for saving the day again. The stewards gave Max a 3-place grid penalty for the next race in Russia, but honestly, both took a massive L. Meanwhile, Ricciardo and McLaren flexed with a 1-2 like it was 2012.
He went to Renault, he's gone to McLaren, he's going to get the victory now. It's McLaren and Ricciardo that win the Italian Grand Prix.
Monza turned into backyard wrestling with carbon fibre. But let's be honest, what's better, polemic crashes or good old battles. I know why you're here. So let's take a quick flight to Texas, the land of brisket, cowboy hats, and 3 straight years of Hamilton versus Verstappen showdowns that made Qatar feel like a legendary track. In 2018, Max started way back in P18 after a gearbox penalty. However, this was not a problem for him. He sliced through the field like a hot knife through Texas brisket. And by lap 54, he was up in P2, with Hamilton breathing down his neck like a hungry wolf. He had the chance to lock the title before Mexico, but Verstappen, he was not here to play. In those last laps, Lewis was pushing as if they were fighting for the win.
But once again, Hamilton gets a better exit. Now, round 10, 17, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen going wheel to wheel, and Verstappen on the better line.
But Max defended like a brick wall on steroids. To put it simply, Max's car control was so goated that day, even Hamilton had to tip the hat. Fast forward to 2021. Everyone knew about the title fight, and the energy was on another level. The contenders came to Austin with just a 6-point difference, ready to start throwing hands. Well, tires. And they proved it from the first lap.
It's lights out, away we go now. Tries to cover him off and pushes him to the left-hand side. Perez is in acres of space as Hamilton on the inside pushes Max Verstappen wide. Can Perez fight back? No, he can't. Hamilton is just ahead of Verstappen.
The strategy difference was crazy. Red Bull did the undercut. Mercedes went for the long game. It was like playing chess at 185 miles per hour. In the final laps, Lewis was closing in. Verstappen's tires were cooked and everyone was sweating harder than the pit crews.
Can his Haskell please go out of the way? Get on to Michael.
Yeah, we are on it. Gap is up to 1.9. Come on, mate.
When Max crossed that line first, everyone was stunned.
Max Verstappen wins the US Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton has to settle for second.
He pulled it off by a hair. Then came 2022, and the Dutchman was out here cooking again.
It's lights out and away we go, and Verstappen getting away better and has that inside line going into turn 1. Verstappen's at the outside of sight, is spun round and is tagged, and he's gone from pole to last in the space of 1 corner.
After leading most of the race, Red Bull had a messy pit stop of 11 seconds.
Terrible stop.
This is going to make it even less close. Lewis Hamilton is going to take the lead of this race. What's happened to Max Verstappen?
That's almost half of Mazepin's entire F1 debut. Back to Max. He had to work his way up from P5 like he was speedrunning a comeback challenge.
And Verstappen pulls out from behind the Ferrari and gets the move done into the braking zone.
Hamilton, on the other hand, was leading after overtaking Vettel, and for a hot minute, it looked like he might actually secure his first win of the year. But nah, Max flipped the script on lap 50, diving into turn 12 with all the sauce in the world.
In the race, Verstappen goes down the inside. Hamilton sees that coming, tries the switcheroo. Verstappen goes deep, and now they're going to go wheel to wheel. Hamilton tries to go round the outside. Verstappen just runs him out of space, but then there's a drift from the Red Bull, almost giving Hamilton the chance to move back again.
The move was clean, no taps, just pure pace. It gave main character energy, honestly. To be fair, that race summed up the entire trilogy. 2 titans going all in, keeping it tight, but never letting it devolve into WWE levels of contact. Such perfect duels. But again, this wasn't unusual for these two, because they had the same amount of battles in another wonderful track. No disrespect to Qatar, but Brazil? That's where Hamilton and Verstappen threw all the respect out the window and went full street fight, like in 2019 when they turned the whole race into a giant UFC cage match. Max had been grinding all weekend, dropping mega quali laps and leading with that I'm goated energy. He proved it in the race, started strong, but during his first stop on lap 22, Kvyat's Williams had an unsafe release, blocking him and allowing Lewis to make the undercut.
Stop.
It's a sub 2 second stop for Max Verstappen, who then has to stop as the Williams of Kubica comes out of his pit box. That has held up Verstappen.
However, he wasn't wasting any time. On lap 23, Max instantly sent it into turn 1 and snatched the lead back with all the sauce.
Verstappen through at turn 1, and he has made amends for getting held up in the pit lane.
Then a few laps later on lap 52, Bottas's engine decided to turn into a bonfire, triggering a safety car. Max got a free pit stop thanks to this.
On trying to make a one-stop race, that's going to be a gift to him.
And joined right behind Lewis again. And on the restart, Max went full cracked.
Settle here as Max Verstappen over the hill comes wheel to wheel with Lewis Hamilton. Round the outside of turn 1 he goes. Verstappen's got the restart sorted.
A few laps later again, the British driver pitted for fresh softs during another safety car, came out behind Albon and decided to go hero mode on lap 70.
Lewis Hamilton makes contact with Alex Albon, who's first.
He lunged inside, tapped the Red Bull, spun him out, and got a 5-second penalty. Max, on the other hand, clutched that win and flexed so hard that even the crowd forgot about the Brazilian rain clouds waiting to ruin everyone's day. Then came 2021. Oh boy. Lewis got disqualified from quali, which made him start P20 on the sprint.
Big news here at Interlagos today. Lewis Hamilton disqualified from qualifying yesterday, sent to the back of the grid, a breach of the technical regulations.
And after an absolute masterclass, he took the checkered flag on P5.
Hamilton on lap 13 finally gets ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, gets DRS as well, powers past the AlphaTauri, and he's going to try and make that lunge, and he does make that lunge down the inside. Lewis Hamilton, that is the best move of the lot.
And now after a 5 grid penalty, he started the race P10 and went absolute demon mode.
Lights out, away we go. Bottas gets away well ahead of Verstappen, but Verstappen is coming back at it. We saw him through Ferradura passing there, Pierre Gasly. Verstappen leads them over the line. There goes Lewis Hamilton on Sebastian Vettel, and Hamilton, if he is to win this race in the space of 2 laps, has half the arrears that he needs to.
I mean, this whole weekend he was so cracked, he looked like he activated cheat mode. By lap 48, he and Max went wheel to wheel into turn 4, and Max pushed him so wide they almost ended up trying the Kimi layout of the track.
He was last at the start of the sprint. He's trying to take the lead from Verstappen, but he is forced wide by Verstappen, and Verstappen himself.
The stewards looked at it and were like, let them motor race.
Toto? Yes. It's called a motor race, okay?
But Lewis kept grinding, packed Max later.
I said it's a third time lucky. Hamilton pulls ahead of Verstappen before they get to the corner.
And took the win.
Hamilton, against the odds, has come home to win the Sao Paulo Grand Prix.
Waving the Brazilian flag and paying tribute to his idol, Ayrton Senna. What a way to end the weekend. Fast forward to 2022 and you get peak pettiness. After a safety car restart, Max tried a desperate dive bomb into turn 1, clipped Lewis and broke his own front wing.
The Mercedes of Hamilton and the Red Bull of Verstappen make contact.
This ended with a 5-second penalty for the Dutchman.
You've been given a 5-second time penalty for the collision at turn 1.
And where did they expect me to go?
Who finished P6, with Lewis P2. In these 3 years, they proved Brazil isn't just a track, it's the spiritual home of cracked battles. After all that carnival chaos, especially in 2021, did you really think these two would go chill in the next race? Definitely not. 2021, title fight. Tension was at its highest. From lap 1, Hamilton was pushing like he was late to the airport, and Mad Max was scheming like a Bond villain at 200 miles per hour.
Gets a decent start, as does Hamilton. Verstappen can't dive down the inside. Leclerc's keeping him company as Hamilton takes the lead into the first corner from Valtteri Bottas.
Then came the safety car.
That is Mick Schumacher into the barrier. This is now played very much into Red Bull and Max Verstappen's hands.
At the restart, Max launched it into turn 1 so aggressively, he might as well have just opened a coffee stand at the apex.
Verstappen's going to go down the inside. There's 3 of them, and Hamilton and Ocon touch. They keep going at Verstappen, now ahead of Lewis Hamilton.
I swear, this guy has 0 fucks to give. Lewis kept pushing though, because that man is built different. And then, the straight line brake test.
Wheel to wheel into the first corner. Verstappen has to bail out. Lewis Hamilton has to bail out. Verstappen ends that sequence with a bigger lead.
That's crazy, man.
Max, so let's give the position back to Hamilton.
Oh, they touched and they collided. Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. How much damage?
Just brake tested me.
What the hell? Honestly, I thought my brain was cooked after that. Lewis's wing after, basically holding on with duct tape and prayers. Then they started swapping positions like 2 kids trading Pokemon cards. Just pure chaos.
Right, so we're on board with Hamilton and Verstappen clearly slowing down. This is the DRS zone. And Max Verstappen, after letting Lewis past, now goes for a lunge down the inside. Hamilton and Verstappen going for it again, and going for it again at turn 27. And Hamilton has now got past Verstappen.
Max got a 5-second penalty. Meanwhile, Hamilton, with his wing half dead, went full cracked mode and finished first.
As he comes home to win the first Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Both left equal on points going into Abu Dhabi. Tension through the roof. Man, I still can't believe how cooked that race was. It wasn't just driving, it was a full-on mental meltdown in HD. End of the season, title decider.
The 2 drivers contesting this championship are separated by 0 points.
Hamilton Hamilton showed up to Abu Dhabi looking like he was about to drop the hottest I Still Got It mixtape ever.
It's lights out, away we go, and Hamilton gets a decent start, and he's already ahead of Max Verstappen.
Right from lights out, he was on another level, launching off the line like he hit Nos in Fast and Furious, and he was goated on that start, no joke. And those first laps, absolute British masterclass. The Mercedes looked like a spaceship with wheels. Meanwhile, Max was sweating, barely hanging on in DRS. But then, after a few pit stops, entered Checo.
So Sergio Perez will stay out and will go on to take the lead of this race.
The true MVP. That's when the whole Mexican Minister of Defense legend was born. When Hamilton caught up, Checo turned into a one-man wall, giving everything he had. Hamilton had to play Twister for a whole lap just to get past.
But he can weave around a bit. But in the end, the track is too wide. Lewis will be nervous of the back of the Red Bull.
Checo really said, not on my watch.
DRS is coming back into turn 9.
Can Perez make it into turn 9? He's saved up a bit of energy from that battery store.
Okay, we'll be looking to hold up Lewis. I think we're best to do that.
Perez playing the ultimate team game here for Max Verstappen, and this is really frustrating Lewis Hamilton.
Thanks to all that, Max closed the gap, which was initially 8 whole seconds. Toto was in full rage mode. The paddock looked ready to faint, but there wasn't much he could do since Hamilton was on another level.
He does get past Perez. He moves towards the inside. He's going to force Perez the long way round.
Then, after 33 laps of nothing, came the ultimate plot twist. Safety car, chaos. Mercedes strategy team against the wall. Max with a free pit stop dove in for fresh softs, while Lewis stayed out on dead hards.
I can't box. Negative.
That's unbelievable.
And then there was Michael Massey, making some of the weirdest calls we've ever seen.
All the cars ahead of you are allowed to overtake Hamilton.
Well, this is highly unusual. Not all of the cars are allowed to unlap themselves.
Oh! No! So, there's confusion, but the safety car is coming in at the end of this lap.
Final lap. Max glued to Lewis's gearbox. Fresh softs versus cooked hards. It was a no-shot scenario for Lewis. And just like that,
The taking zone is normally down into turn 5.
That is so not right. That is so not right.
Is Verstappen far enough back? He's going to make the lunge down the inside. Hamilton sees it coming. It's a late lunge by Verstappen. Now snatches the championship trophy.
no DRS needed. He had all the sauce. The rest, pure pain for Merc fans.
This has been manipulated, man.
Max Verstappen, for the first time ever, is champion of the world.
When Max crossed the line, reality glitched. Meanwhile, Max sounded like he just won the championship. Oh, he really did.
Oh my God! Max Verstappen, you are the world champion!
The vibes, unreal. By the end, Max had his first title, and the whole F1 world was screaming, did that actually just happen? To put it simply, Hamilton's nearly flawless race turned into a Netflix crime doc in one lap. No matter who you support, one thing's clear. Max versus Lewis gave us some of the wildest scenes in racing history. And if you want even more last lap drama, I have the perfect video for you. And as always, thank you for watching.